Taylor Swift dropped her new album, Life of a Showgirl, and it feels like America is collectively having a meltdown over it. Because apparently we can't just have things anymore. We can't just enjoy art. We have to dissect it, we have to politicize it, and we have to scream about it on TV and the internet. Now, before everybody gets their friendship bracelets in a tizzy, I am not a card-carrying Swiftie. I don't own any of her merch. I don't know any of the deep cuts, and my ideal Saturday night does not involve watching the Eras Tour again and again. My relationship with Taylor Swift's music is purely osmotic. My wife was a big fan of her and still listens to her. My sister was a huge fan of her. So throughout the years, I've absorbed a lot of her music. And I also DJ themed events, and we've done a couple Taylor Swift brunches. So by pure proximity and ubiquity to her existence, I've gotten to know the music. Her music's kind of like breathing air. You don't always choose it, it's just there. But here's what I am a fan of: her business acumen, her prolific artistry, and her outstanding brand management. On all of those fronts, Taylor Swift is a goddamn titan. So while I'm not her target audience, I do admire her a lot. And that's why watching the internet dissect and tear apart Life of a Showgirl has been frankly exhausting. Because once again, people are missing the point and bending themselves into pretzels to find some kind of exaggerated or invented offense to this, while forgetting a fundamental truth: not everything needs to be made political. It feels like we've collectively forgotten how to experience art without filtering it through a political lens. Can we just have music? Can we just have art? And I get it. Politics feels absolutely inescapable these days. It's in our news feeds, it's in our workplace conversations, hell, it's even in our dreams probably. But for crying out loud, can we let music be just what it's supposed to be? An escape. Can we just let songs exist without forcing them into some ideological cage match? And yes, Taylor Swift, she's waded into politics before. She's famously endorsed candidates. And you know what? That's her right. But that doesn't mean that every creative output that she has for the rest of the time is some secret political manifesto. Especially when, with this album, it feels like absolutely nobody is completely happy with it, which honestly is impressive in its own right. Let's start with the conversations from the conservative side of the aisle. These folks have been working overtime, trying to find coded messages in her lyrics, trying to unearth her secret agendas, and just painting her as this boogeyman that's trying to erode our American values. And then there are some members of the Christian sect that are trying to convince you that she is mocking or subverting the Christian sexual ethics. And they're pointing to songs like I Can Fix You. And let's be honest, that song feels more like a universal female experience, and I don't see the theology in it. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting here thinking, did I miss a sermon growing up where we were preaching to the Mount of St. Travis Kelsey? It's like they're playing a game of lyrical Mad Libs and the only winning condition is outrage. But don't worry, the left isn't happy either. Apparently this album is not liberal enough for them. They're claiming that references of the suburb and wanting kids that look like you have racial undertones to them is apparently Taylor Swift's dog whistle for what? I don't know. Literally, tell me what it's for. Gentrification, white supremacy, an HOA meeting. I'm genuinely confused by the interpretation of this song. Some critics are claiming the song Wishlist is a signal towards traditional gender roles. You can almost hear them gasp, oh no, she might want to settle down and maybe have kids, get married. They're labeling it the trad wife agenda, as if her wanting to live somewhat of a normal life after years of touring and giving her fans everything is some kind of betrayal. Because you know, wanting a family, that's the ultimate conservative plot. And then there's the criticism that the album is tone deaf and out of touch, that it feels disconnected from the hardships and economic realities that a lot of people are facing right now, that it's being too extravagant and glamorized, because now rich artists are only allowed to sing about poverty. We apparently missed the whole 90s in rap music. We're creating a vicious cycle for artists where it's you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You just have people who love to complain about anything. There's absolute all-star outrage squads on both sides of the aisle. Which, whatever with politics, but leave it out of music. Some are complaining that the lyrics are too overly simplistic, while others are complaining that they're too overtly sexualized and crass. Others are upset that they rely on cliches and internet slang. Girl boss culture, hyper-sexualized image on the cover. It's like people are upset that she's trying to be trendy and push the envelope, but also they're upset that she's not being traditional enough. You can't have it both ways. Pick a lane, people. Or better yet, realize that an artist is allowed to experiment and evolve. And when they do that, it's not just an affront to your worldview. Here's a thought. Taylor Swift is now 35 years old. 35. Not 19, not 22, not even 29. 35. Her songs are going to start to reflect that. She's now in a stable, seemingly healthy relationship, and from the outside looking in, she appears to be genuinely happy. She's engaged, and she's engaged to a professional athlete, which is a totally different dynamic than her previous relationships where she usually dated another tortured artist like an actor or a musician. This is a whole new worldview for her. As someone who's gotten older, she's probably experiencing things that she's never experienced before. She's probably seeing things through a perspective that she's never seen them before. Meaning her writing's probably coming from a more mature place. The love story Taylor is long gone. The You Belong With Me Taylor has grown up. The All Too Well Taylor has probably healed. Mostly. She's a grown-ass adult, and she's allowed to explore themes of love and domesticality and temptation and want and whatever the hell else she wants. And she could do that without it being a political statement or a betrayal to her past. Artists evolve and people evolve. The expectation that she's always going to just write songs about high school love and public feuds is just ridiculous. Let the girl live and let her write songs about her life, which, surprise, surprise, is going to involve different things now that she's 35 than when she was 25. And this brings me to my most important point of all. Taylor Swift can, for the rest of her natural living life, create whatever she wants, whenever she wants, however she wants. She's that big. She's a billionaire. She doesn't need your money. She doesn't need your validation. She has built an empire so vast and so powerful that she's practically bulletproof. She's given 20 years of her heart, her creativity, and her soul to her fans. She's toured relentlessly, and she even re-recorded her entire back catalog and took power back into the hands of artists and redefined what the industry looks like. And she's connected with millions of fans across the world on a level that's never been seen before. So does she owe them anything anymore? Arguably, she owes them everything because of the support that they gave her. But in terms of creative output and in terms of bending the knee to public opinion, she doesn't owe anybody anything. She has delivered at the highest level on all fronts. It doesn't matter what the biggest internet Taylor Swift personalities have to say, or Andy Cohen, or Dave Portnoy, or Candace Owens, or Fox News. At the end of the day, Taylor Swift is set. She's got nothing to prove. She has reached a level of artistic freedom that is absolute. And that's a beautiful thing for an artist to achieve. She can experiment, and she can create an album called Life of a Showgirl and not give a single shit what the internet has to say. I'm not a Taylor Swift superfan, but I do respect the hell out of her and think she is an absolutely prolific artist. I think her album Folklore is a masterpiece, a genuine masterpiece, absolutely no notes on it whatsoever. Life of a Showgirl, it's not folklore for me, but I respect it anyway. It may grow on me. It's not my favorite work in her catalog, but let's be honest, it's still better than 99.999% of all the music in the world that's put out every day. So instead of trying to find a political angle or shame a grown woman for writing about her life, maybe, just maybe, appreciate the music for what it is. Music. Or don't. I don't really care. The world's going to keep spinning. And Taylor Swift is going to keep creating and making money. And you're all going to just keep yelling about it and looking completely ridiculous. And that's okay. Give this video a like if you appreciated the content. Subscribe. Down in the comment section, let me know. Are you sick of everything being as politicized as I am? Or am I just getting old? Let's go.